Okay, today we'll be looking at the mid-range power station from a company called Oupes. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, this power station is rated at 600 watt hours. The AC is rated at 600 watt. It features lithium iron phosphate battery chemistry, and the battery life cycle is 3600 according to the specs. Let's take a look at the front. We have two AC outlet, and at the right we have a DC port, the cigarette lighter port that's rated at 12 volt at 10 amps, and two barrel side plugs that's rated at 12 volt at 5 amps or 60 watt max. And on the bottom we have a USB ports. We have a 60 watt power delivery port that's bidirectional, and two quick charge port type A. This unit can be charged both from the power delivery and from the side simultaneously, and they can offer up to 150 watt if you use them both at the same time. On the side we have the input for the DC port. This is a 8mm in size, and also we have the vent and the fan here. On the back we got one giant LED light that's mode low, high, and SOS. On the other side we have vents and fan again. Oh, I also forgot to mention this display. This is one giant LCD display. It's actually quite huge. Think of it like the iPhone 4S. That's about the size of it. It shows you your battery percentage, your input and your output, and also the indicator for your ports to see which one is on. This thing weighs in at about 15 pounds. Okay, here we have the unit charging with dual inputs simultaneously, and it's going up to 152 watts. This is with both the USB type C and the AC input. Okay, we just finished the AC capacity test, and as you can see, it turned the unit off at 5% with the error code EO2, which stands for low voltage. As you can see here, we use up 450 watt hours with the time of 6.9 hours. Okay, the unit has power off the AC again at 5% with the same error code EO2, which again is low voltage. And to reset the EO2 code, you have to press the AC button twice. Yeah, I have no idea why they do that. Seems like a hassle. Okay, and we can see here we use up 440 watt hours. Okay, in this test we got 480 watt hours. It's pretty poor, all these tests. The first one we got 75%. Second one we got 73%. This one we get close to 80%. But we're still averaging about 76%, which is pretty low. Here I try to reset the error code and see how far I can continue this test. Not far at all. Not far at all. Here we're doing the DC battery capacity test, and as you can see, we got 529 watt hours. Here on the second battery capacity test of the DC circuit, we get 506 watt hours, which is still very good. Three cups of water in here. Let's see how long it takes to boil it. Okay, so the time is 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and the water is boiling. Let's see how long it can hold the 600 watts. Okay, in this test, we'll do the comparison between the solar charge controller of my Mylan and the Oupes. As you can see, the Mylan is getting 64.7 watts. Both of these are MPPT controllers, solar charge controllers. And if I switch it over to the Oupes right now, you can see it jumps all over to 100 watts compared to the 66 watt from the Mylan. This is a much more efficient MPPT solar charge controller. The Oupes, I mean. Okay, this unit has what appears to be a defect in the fans, where if the display is off, the fan will start and stop, start and stop. It's like they're having a problem starting the fan. But when the display is on, everything works normal. Here, let me show you. Not really sure how I feel about this unit yet. On the one hand, you could get this for a really low price because they have a $200 coupon floating around. So you get it for around 330 to 350 bucks, which is a pretty low price per watt ratio, especially for a LiPo4 power station. It has a very efficient MPPT solar charge controller, USB Type-C charging input, simultaneously charging, pass-through charging on all the ports, regulated DC outputs, and of course, LiPo4 battery chemistry. On the other hand, this thing does have a couple of major defects. The fan is just god awful. I just think there's a major defect with the fan. There's no reason for the fan to behave one way when the display is on and another way when the display is off. Either the unit is hot and you turn on the fan, or it's not and you don't turn on the fan. I'm not sure why the display has anything to do with this. Now let's talk about the other elephant in the room, which is the AC port. At 75% efficiency, the AC port is just not great. If you're going to buy this unit, buy it for the DC port. If you use this unit mainly for the AC port, then just buy something else, like the new Blue Eddy EB70. That'll probably be a better deal. Right, so at 75%, your price per watt hour has actually shot up. You're now paying in the mid 70 cents per watt hour, which is about the same price per watt hour for the Blue Eddy EB70. And the EB70 also has a LiPo4 battery, and it has a much longer warranty. It has a much faster recharging rate, better solar charging. They actually have a website. Yeah, so you're gonna use the AC port, it's much better to go with the Blue Eddy. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you find it useful. See you next time.